Hello. We don't normally start this like this, despite the last one starting like this as well. But I found something as I was editing this. We spoke about the most important part of this whole thing right at the very end. So I've chopped it out of the very end and put it right at the very front so that you can at least watch that a little bit. It's worth watching. Cassie made a mistake and she very openly explains it all, and she's been raising lots and lots of money, and she made a bit of a fuck up with the raising of the money. So it's worth watching this bit. If you did donate to it and you did get your money back because of the slight error with the bank account, if you want to give it back to her, all the links and everything are below. And Gav's idea of, if you think she's a twat for doing it, of donating 66p is a great idea. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this bit. So this bit will come first, and then the actual whole thing will start in a minute. All right, cheers, bye.
I fucked up a bit because I did that whole fundraiser for the exchange, and I did loads of online gigs and fundraising and things for them, raised quite a bit of money. And then because my bank details weren't entered correctly into the fundraiser, they refunded everybody's donations. So all of that fundraising has just gone completely out of the window.
Oh,
so
no.
I am a twat for doing that, and I don't know whether to admit to that or not, so you can probably edit that out if it's a bit not.
It's up to you. It's up to you.
It's entirely up to you, but
I am denied about whether to admit to it or just be like, let's just let it lie and not bother fundraising. And then I thought, I need to fundraise. That's the whole point of it. So I need to get that money back. So if you've made a donation and it's pinged back to your account, if you could just donate it again, that would be great. Otherwise, I'm just going to start fundraising again.
Yeah. Well, send us the details.
Yeah, so I've given Luke the link so you can put it underneath. I've set up a new fundraiser so you can just put the money back into it. But if you think Cassie's just a twat and she hasn't organised that properly, you don't need to donate again.
But maybe if people donate 66p, if they think you're a twat, then you'll see all that 66p's coming up.
Yeah.
And you think, these people think I'm a twat.
Also, this was really hard for me to do. So if you think I'm a twat, I could just do more like being a twat, and you could just donate for that, and that would raise money. Anything that raises money for the Save Our Venues Fund, Trust, is really important to me. So, yeah.
Excellent.
I don't think that's a twatish thing at all.
I think it's good.
I think
very important
genuinely,
to me. I'm just not very good at doing it.
If you look at Gav and I and most of our mates, all of the bands we've ever been in, all the bands we've been mates with, all that sort of stuff, it's always been sort of the toilet scene, really, hasn't it? Affectionately known as. We've never, we're not a band that's ever going to play anywhere massive or anything like that. And all those venues give us a chance. So without venues like that, we don't get a chance. And you think there are bands that are actually good at what they do as well, and they start out in little places like that, and then they get a chance to, My ex-landlord saw AC/DC in a pub in Devonport in Plymouth. Venues like that matter, and people get to see bands.
And all the bigger venues that have the bigger bands that pay like £100 a ticket and things, they will survive, they will manage. It'll be the smaller ones with the smaller bands, and it will die out. But then eventually there'll be no bigger bands to come out into the bigger venues. So it will eventually all die off, and our government doesn't appreciate that is a big industry. It's an important industry. They don't give a shit about it. I'm sorry, but they don't. And I feel very strongly about it.
Hello. Hey, just another one of these quick intros that I've done. Just to say, firstly, sorry to Gav and Cassie. It took me, we recorded this ages and ages ago, and I've only just got my arse in gear to get it edited. I have been doing loads of other stuff, and one of those things was not getting my hair cut. Look at the state of my hair, and look how grey it is. Jeez. I guess that's being old and having 2 kids, maybe. Who knows? Anyway, quick sorry to Cassie and Gav. It's taken me ages to get this done. It's very, very funny. We had a great time doing it. We literally just sat back and let Cassie go. She had some tequila, I believe, and some margaritas and all the other stuff, and it all just started flooding out, which was great. And it's very, very funny. We really enjoyed doing it. Thank you to Cassie for coming on and doing it. There are, because I think of the tequila and stuff, there are a few occasions where she forgets the name of people to say thank you to, or people that have been really helpful to her during her time as a promoter and everything. She then contacted me later on and panicked and said, "Oh fuck, I've forgotten all these people, I'm really sorry. Oh no, what am I going to do?" Just to let you know, if you are missed out and you do see this, Cassie's very, very sorry, but she says thank you very much for everything you've done to help her. So a big thanks for Cassie. And the only other thing I wanted to say was I was contacted by a friend of ours whose daughter Mia did her version of the 10 questions song, and it's absolutely amazing. It's a million times better than anything Gav and I have ever done or would have ever done. It's brilliant. So I've used it here with Mia's permission. Thank you very much, Mia. You're a little star. Yeah, it's ace. So there we go. Oh, and the other thing is, like when I was recording this, my little box, the picture of where I am on the screen, is all over the shop. But you don't really need to worry about me. I'm not very much involved in this one. It's all about Cassie and her stuff. So yeah, hope you enjoy it, and yeah, see you soon. Cheers, bye. All right, now ask me the question.
Are you going to sleep in that yellow bed?
No.
Yes.
Excellent. This is all staying in.
Yeah, this is this is great stuff.
Normal parents during normal lockdown.
I got a pair of scissors if you need them.
Excellent. So this is like an episode of Broadchurch. Are you currently representing Pete's band as well?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We almost never mention wood or wear our own t-shirt. We should. Ah, you would have.
Well,
I've got a box of them somewhere.
I like the Pacifica.
The guitar.
Pacifica is the guitar. I know it is great that you looked at your chest when I said that. I like your Pacifica. Whoa. That band, to get that band in, that cost me a fortune.
Really?
Yeah, I had to hire a recording studio and everything. And, yeah.
You couldn't just use wood?
I mean, it just sounds like Luke doing it on an acoustic guitar with a phone in front of him. But...
oh, well, it depends which one you're talking about. If you're talking about the actual title sequence, that is, you know, like I say, whole keyboard, whole band, orchestra, the lot.
Really?
I didn't just get it from YouTube and just sing over the top of it.
No. It doesn't sound like it at all.
Have I got wood for you? 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 Have I got wood? Have I got wood for you? Have I got...
And now, please welcome the host of...
Have I got wood for you? Gav Hosselby!
But you'll be pleased to know that whatever technological problems we have, when we did the one with all of wood, it was way worse. What happened? Yeah. I didn't record it properly. Damien didn't record at all for the first half an hour or something. 20 minutes. And then Steve stopped recording for the last 15 minutes.
Because he was trying to take a picture of himself. He admitted it today. He was trying to take video of himself doing this. So he pressed the wrong button and turned everything off.
This is the exact problem, though. You can't multitask when you're doing video calls. No. I've realised this through doing my tutoring. I do all my tutoring on video calls, and then when I start like trying to do something on the screen, it just messes up the whole call.
Yeah.
And then what they're like, where's it gone? Just doing like the teaching that I was doing prior to lockdown, but through video calls basically.
Oh, so you're a teacher.
About 5 or 6 clients. Yeah. You wouldn't think it, would you?
What do you teach? IT?
Yeah, video calling.
Guitar tech.
Yeah.
Well, that's the guitar back there.
Pretty much.
And that's the picking.
No, I was a primary school teacher, but then I got pretty sick of all of that and the whole system and everything, and got a bit fed up with it, and had my own children, and now I just tutor. So I was going to children's houses tutoring, literacy and maths mainly. But now I just do it all over video calls, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Seems to work okay.
Luke, you look stunned or you're frozen.
Yeah, which one?
I was going to ask, how old are your kids?
6 and 4.
Right, so Mila's definitely at school, right? So she's...
Well, she was.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I mean. How are you finding homeschooling? Are you good at doing the homeschooling side of things, or are you not good with your own kids?
No, you'd think I'd be really good at it, and I was like really geared up for it. I was like, yes, I can put all of my homeschooling into practice. It's going to be wicked. And it didn't work at all for about the first 10 weeks. And Marlon was quite good actually. The 4-year-old was good. He was into it. But Mila, no. But we just decided not to do it for 10 weeks.
Right. Yeah,
But we didn't like not do anything. We sort of went out and did loads of like forest school and did outdoor learning and took like clipboards out and did things, but we didn't do actual sitting down work. But now I'm thinking, God, I should be doing sitting down work really.
It's a difficult one.
But we have started doing a bit of it.
I get what you mean about the system and stuff. Like, so Eddie, my son, he's just turned 9, and he's been sat down through the last couple of years being told, look, if you can't do joined up handwriting, you're going to fail the year. And then he gets next year, he can write however he wants. As long as he's got a style, he can write however he wants. And his teachers will sit there and they're like, we get it. He's never going to write a joined up letter. He's never going to do anything like that. There's no point in him learning joined up writing. He's going to use emails and computers and stuff. Why the fuck does that matter? Yeah, but the government have told us that this is a critical thing, and if he can't do joined up handwriting fluently and quickly, then he fails the year technically.
This is exactly why I left teaching. This is exactly it, because they started making reception children. They wanted by the end of reception year. That was cool. By the end of reception year, they wanted me to be teaching cursive handwriting, getting the children in reception, so they're like 4 and 5, to be doing joined up handwriting. And I was just ending up like going, look, for God's sake, won't you bloody join up your handwriting to like a 4-year-old? And then going home and just being like, oh my God, what have I done? Yeah. What have I done? And I couldn't bear it anymore.
Was that in Bristol?
Yeah. Yeah,
seems really
a very strict head teacher.
That seems like a really arbitrary thing to make them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's just one of those things that they judge things on. It's one of those things in the curriculum that makes it you're a good writer, because you're joining up your handwriting and you're putting your full stops in, and it doesn't matter what sort of language you're using, or that you can tell stories really well. It's the joined up handwriting. Yeah, it's all of that really pissed me off. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I tend to find as well that the teachers are all on the kids' side. That's the thing. But the teachers are fighting against the national curriculum or everything they've been set, and that and being told, you have to have, these kids must meet this standard by this stage, otherwise you don't pass key stage whatever.
Yeah.
It just seems
that's exactly
crazy.
it.
I think I'm right in saying we have. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, you have these performance management meetings. So you go in, they set you a really unreasonable target, like you've got to get 90% of your children to a ridiculous level, And then they call you in at the end of the year and go, well, you didn't do it. And you're like, yeah, because it was completely ridiculous. The children were like really not at that level, and I just recorded my results as they were. And they're like, oh, no, that's not good enough. So the next year you're like, well, do I just put down that they've got to that level, or, you know, or do I put the real level and get bollocked for it again? Yeah. It just ended up being like that. It was like it was just morals being torn left, right and centre.
Yeah. And who actually benefits from any of that?
Well, exactly. No, it's not meant to be about that. Yeah. It is not meant to be about that, and that is the way it's gone. And I dread to think what it's going to be like after lockdown, whether it will be better because they maybe will scrap some of the exams, or whether it will be worse. I don't know.
What are you drinking?
Margaritas. Hence the rambling.
I like it. I'm gonna do our introduction.
So, do that. That would be really good.
I think I'm recording now, because look, it's doing that.
It's the cassette. Yeah, that looks like you're recording, Cassie. Yeah.
That looks like I'm recording, doesn't it?
I mean, this is the best introduction we've ever done, so this is perfect.
Yeah.
So I really hope you get that bit about penguin and broccoli in though. That's quite essential.
Luke.
Penguin and broccoli.
Is that going to be the answer?
I'm going to give that to her as a birthing present. Just be like, I've made you a video.
Here it is. Right, so this is you know what you're here for, right? This is our Woodcast.
Oh God, yeah, I've got my notes. Hang on.
Episode 3. Wow, I've got some questions as well. So. I don't really know what the point of the Woodcast is, other than me and Luke thought it would be funny to talk to people on Skype and record it.
I love the concept of it. I think it's brilliant. I just can't believe that you've asked me to be on it.
It's fun.
I mean, the amazing thing is it's completely unique as well. Nobody else has ever thought of doing anything like this before.
Never.
So, once again, we are at the forefront of ideas.
The reason that we asked you on is because you have a different perspective to music and what's going on than people in a band, because well, do you want to tell people what
I don't think I do.
Mostly because you got blonde hair. That was
support
the reason,
scene,
right, Gav?
Events. That's the reason.
Yeah, but I don't think I do have a different perspective, do I? I've got the same perspective as everyone else.
Well, probably.
You need to support the music industry.
Probably.
I just got fed up of banging on about it, and then thought, well, I've got to actually do something about it.
And that's true.
So then I started trying to promote bands very loosely. And
how did you get what made you start?
Wait,
like, where
that's
were
one of my
you?
questions.
Sorry. Is it? Oh, sorry.
So
Cassie, you're here because you do support the scene events, right? And you do gigs in Bristol and on the South Coast sometimes.
Yeah, up until recently.
And there's been for anyone that doesn't know, there's been like a virus thing that's kind of
lockdown.
So what we do on the Woodcast is me and Luke ask you 5 questions each. Some of the questions are stupid.
Sorry, I've got the giggles already.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's it, really. Who do you want Luke's questions first or mine? Well, wait, and Luke's going to do the.
Who's doing the bad cop, good cop then?
Well, it doesn't matter because we've got a total of 5. I've got 5 questions and Gav's got 5 questions, which makes Cassie you're a maths and literacy and thingy
5
teacher.
5
5 add 5 is
20.
20. Yeah. So, but we are.
Which is why this part of the show is called. I got 10 questions for you.
I've got some questions for you. I've got 10 questions for you. I've got 10 questions. I've got 10 questions. I've got 10 questions for you. 10.
10 questions.
Yeah.
There will be something, but yeah, to answer, it's not really good cop and bad cop. It's more incompetent cop and incompetent cop.
Okay, an incompetent interviewee as well.
Yeah. It's a new genre of film that we're going
really
for.
Watchable, very watchable. My leg's in it again. Sorry.
This is very different to the one we did with Paul.
Yeah.
He didn't mention his leg once, did he?
No, but he mentioned his beard about 50 times.
He does, yeah. And it says big time a lot.
Yeah, I sort of watched that and I was like, I really wish I hadn't watched it because he looked really professional and sensible. And I just thought, I'm not going to be like that at all.
That's really funny because I played in a band with that bloke for like 13, 14 years, and professional is not one of the words I would use to associate with him. And if he is, I'm sure he's watching this, and he knows I love him. But.
Oh, Cassie,
very
you have to meet
professional
Paul one day.
And yeah, I was impressed.
It's all in the editing.
I feel a bit intimidated.
Well, Gav, do you want to go first, given that you know Cassie?
Oh God, yeah.
Okay.
That makes it sound like I don't know you.
Question.
Sorry. But Gav, you've known Cassie longer.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
We've known each other a little while.
Yeah, we have, yeah.
Little while.
Yeah, about a year or something. Year and a half.
Yeah, I've lost track of time completely, but I can remember the specific time we met. It was that gig at the Chelsea, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was. Yeah. Remember photos of that somewhere.
Were you playing, Gav?
And that's the thing.
What?
Were you playing? Was it 15 years?
No, he's just wandering about.
Yeah. Do I ever
about
play?
the streets.
Yeah. Got dragged in. Don't live that far from the Chelsea now.
Oh, do you not?
About a mile and a bit. Not far
Have you
from the Red
moved
Line.
recently?
Yeah, we moved about a year ago, something like that.
Oh, okay.
So
you were St George before, weren't you?
Oh, still St George. Yeah, so I haven't moved since then.
I suppose it is St George, isn't it?
But I think when we first met, I was living over in West Bristol, miles from everywhere.
Okay.
Anyway,
that's where I'm getting confused. Yeah, we are gonna go off tangent.
That's fine. It's allowed. You might have noticed it happens. The first question is the question that you were about to answer before, anyway, which is what's the story behind starting Support the Scene events? Like, what inspired you to start doing something like that?
Well, my friend's band, Toxic Fish, who live in Weymouth and Portland, I think. I basically went out one night, got rather drunk, and they were saying, oh, we really need like a band manager or somebody that's going to sort of help us get to the next level. And I'd had quite a lot of red wine, and I was like, I've always wanted to be a band manager. That'd be such a cool job. I'd love to be a band manager. So I sort of said I would do it, and I woke up in the morning very hungover and remembered the conversation. But I'm not somebody who sort of says things really drunk and then doesn't follow through with them. But I genuinely did want to be a band manager, but then that wasn't really possible because they live in Weymouth and I live in Bristol, and they were sort of organising gigs anyway and had quite a lot of their stuff organised. But I thought I can get them gigs in Bristol. So I was sort of contacting various venues saying, you know, can I get them on any gigs that were happening? And everyone was like, no, all the gigs are sort of already organised and they're already happening. So I thought, well, I've got to organise my own gig in order to get them on it. So I basically just contacted all the venues saying I want to organise a gig rather than try and get them on it. And the venues were much more open to that. So then I had to find other bands, promote for other bands, and then it just spiralled from there, basically. And the Thunderbolt was the first one that said, come and do a gig here, basically. And he was quite good, the guy that runs that. He was like a bit mad, but said, you can come and organise it, but you need to find 2 bands and I'll find 2 bands, and then we'll put the 4 bands together. And I remember him saying, you need to find, it all had to be like where they were from. It was all based on what place they were from. It was really weird. So he's like, yeah, it's got to be 1 from Weymouth, 1 from Bristol, and then the other 2 had to be from other locations. It was all really bizarre. Yeah, I didn't quite get what the theme was.
I've met that guy. He was a strange guy.
Yeah. I hope he doesn't watch it, but he was brilliant. He was actually brilliant because he was totally like on board with my little crazy fad that I was having. And without him, I wouldn't have been able to do it. I wouldn't have even got going. Because everybody else was sort of messaging me like, you don't really know what the fuck you're doing, do you? So why are you messaging us? But he was like, no, come on, you get 2 bands, I'll get 2 bands. And actually,
there's a lot to do when you're planning a gig.
Yeah, and I didn't realise that at the time. I just thought it'd be quite. I mean, I love organising. As a teacher, I love organising. I'm quite a control freak, shall we say? So I do. And Pete will vouch me on that. But yeah, I do like organising, so I thought it'd be quite easy. But I didn't realise quite how much went into it. And then, but it was good because the 2 bands that I got and the 2 bands that he got actually worked out really well. And it ended up being a really good gig, and quite a lot of people came. And yeah, we made a bit of money on the door and everything, so it was quite successful. And I think if that had been shit, if that had all gone really shit, I wouldn't be doing it anymore. It was only that one gig just sort of aligned.
Yeah. Do you remember the bands?
Well, I had Toxic Fish and Black Rabbit because a friend of mine, Darren, is in Black Rabbit. So I got them. Oh God, I can't remember the other 2. The other 2 that David McDonald got they were brilliant as well.
Luke will flash them up on the screen if you find it. And
we'll work it out.
Oh God, yeah, I need to remember it. I've got all my gigs written down.
Yeah, cool. That's a really cool thing to have.
Yeah.
How many have you done?
Yeah.
So
that was November nearly 2 years ago. I don't even know how many gigs I've got, and I should just send you that list, really, I think.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'll put them up
with all the different gigs. Yeah. But the thing was that at that gig, Black Rabbit were absolutely amazing. Like I was literally like blown away. Me and Pete just stood there like, I mean, Toxic Fish were brilliant. Toxic Fish were headlining and they were absolutely amazing, as they always are. But Black Rabbit, I hadn't really watched them before. Shit, sorry. Yeah, Darren is a good friend of mine, and I'd watched him in Somnus before. I don't know if you've heard of Somnus. One of the best bands ever existed. Look them up.
Song Nest.
Brilliant. Yeah, Somnus, SOMMNUS, I think. Yeah, really
That's
good.
Cool. Okay. I like Black Rabbit though, because I don't really know what genre it is, and I like watching a band, and I'm like, I can't really pinpoint the genre. It's just good songs.
Well, that's the thing, yeah. And they're that sort of band that are really good in a small venue as well. When you're standing up close, you really get they've got a real impact on you. I think sometimes in a bigger venue it can be lost, but yeah, they were amazing.
Excellent. So that's
and Toxic Fish were brilliant. Yeah, that was how it started really. And then I just thought, well, that one went well, so I'll do another one. And now I sort of feel like I can't stop. Because I've started it, and and now I've realised that there's not many other people doing that thing or that specific genre. I sort of feel like if I stop, then it's sacrilege, really.
Yeah, there's a couple Suburban Home guys do some.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mark and Charlie, and
yes.
And then the Custard Punk guys do some from time to time.
Yeah. And that's that's really bad. Please edit out the bit where I say I don't remember who it was, because that was the whole thing. It was Custard Punk, and it was Chris Durbin's band.
Relentless Fish.
He's Relentless Fish on his own, but what are they called when it's all of them? You've got to not put this in.
I keep saying Toxic Fish, but that's not right.
Fuck no, because that was the whole thing.
The Larry Fish experiment.
Larry Fish experiment. Right, you've got to pretend that I remembered that totally. Because actually that was what it was. It was the fact that we met the Larry Fish experiment at that gig. So one of the bands that David from the Thunderbolt organised was the Larry Fish experiment. So we met up with them. So we had Toxic Fish and then the Larry Fish experiment, who was sort of similar genre with that scarring style. And
And they're really cool guys as well. So.
And they're just really cool. And they did Custard Punk. So I said to him, like, well, just starting out as a promoter and everything. And he just gave me loads of advice. And then he told me what venues to contact, how to do it. And I was like, this is a sign. This is a sign that he's here on that first gig.
Yeah. He's a good guy, isn't he, Chris?
Yeah. And I literally wouldn't have been able to do it without him. And I can't believe I've just forgotten him off it.
Don't worry.
Are you able to edit that?
Make it look like it was...
Of course, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Should we just redo it?
No, that's cool, don't worry.
Luke, I can't hear you.
Oh, hang on, my microphone's muted for some reason.
Oh no, you have gone silent.
There we go. How's that?
Yeah.
Oh, did you mute yourself?
I don't know. It's all good though.
Were you laughing really loudly at me or something? You had to mute it. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that was the whole point, that Chris was there and that was what sparked it on because he gave me loads. And then the next gig was at the Chelsea because he organised loads of gigs at the Chelsea. Then he helped me organise the next one. And then I kind of met Kane and everyone from the Chelsea and that helped me a lot as well. Yeah.
Excellent. So the next question, you can pick between a pretty silly question or a music related question.
I don't know which is worse because I might not know the music related one.
You will. I'll ask you the silly one, right?
Just do both, yeah.
You can't.
It's got to be one or the other.
No, you're going to get them all anyway.
Okay, right, just do the music one.
5.
Music. Yeah, it's 5 questions. And look, I've written them down. You're not getting any more.
Okay.
So the first one is what was the first kind of album or record or CD or tape or whatever that you bought like with your own money that was like your band that you liked?
Oh no, that's because Luke said you were going to ask me what's the one that I play for the rest of my life, and I've got that answer.
Yeah, that's his question. This is my question.
You tricked me on that because the answer. Well, there's 2 different answers.
You can have 2 answers. I can tell you mine whilst you're thinking.
Is it really embarrassing?
Hells yeah. The very first one I bought a tape of Rick Astley.
That's
Very
good.
Gav.
That I then sold. I sold to one of my friends in the queue for dinner at school one day for £1. But the first one I sort of bought that I actually liked was Ned's Atomic Dustbin CD, when CDs became a thing.
Well, yeah, I'm remembering tapes because me and Penguin, I'm going back to Penguin here, Tanguin, used to go into, we used to record the tape from, I don't know what, from the radio or something, or copy the tape.
Yeah.
But then go in, oh God, this is really naughty actually, I probably shouldn't say it, but go in like W.H. Smith or something and just take the cover of the tape and then put it on our recorded tape. And the ones I can remember doing that for was, it was a single and it was Wigfield, Saturday Night.
Yeah. I know that song.
That one, yeah. So it's that single, and then it was Alanis Morissette, whatever that album was called.
Jagged Little Pill, I believe.
Was that the album name? Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah. So
and then me and Tanguin sort of learned every song off that. So I think that was probably the first album I had. Yeah, as far as I can remember.
What was yours, Luke?
Hazy though.
Mine officially was my mate Newton had a little corner shop, and they said Ken, the guy who ran it, got in a few cassettes, and so me and my brother bought a tape each at the same time. And my brother bought USA for Africa, which was like their version of Live Aid. It was called We Are the World, and my brother bought that album, and I bought She's the Boss by Mick Jagger. I couldn't tell you any of the songs or anything about it. Or
you can't sing any of it?
Not a clue.
Sing a bit? No.
Not a clue.
No one in Wood can sing, Cassie.
Well,
that's true. Yeah. But USA for Africa, that had like...
Glad my birthday
We Are the
didn't go ahead.
Yeah. You'll have to do that next year.
Yeah. Well, we're a band down, but yeah.
Yes, we are. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump to the next silly question, right?
Yeah, please do.
Well, it might not be silly. If you had to have one limb amputated, which one would it be?
Ooh, that's a good one.
And Luke can answer this one as well.
Okay, I'd cut off a left foot.
No, it has to be a whole limb.
I was going to say, is it like a whole leg or a whole arm, or just
it has to be like...
foot count? That's a limb, isn't it? Yeah, the whole bit.
All right, I'd cut off Cassie's left leg, if that's all right.
Well, would you actually do the amputation?
Yeah, why not?
That would be more disgusting than having it done, wouldn't it?
Just give you a margarita and you just chat through it. I can just sit there
soaring. A couple of Cocodamol, I'll be fine.
I mean, you could always have it reattached.
I'd rather
it would have to be a leg, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'm thinking a leg, because there's so many people that have legs amputated, or have only one leg, and they do amazing things in their life. But your hands, you use a lot. You do your legs as well, don't you? But yeah, it's your fingers, isn't it?
I guess if you've grown up knowing that you've got two hands and two legs, two arms and everything, and you rely on these to write, to draw, to type, to whatever, then it'd be tough to going. I don't know. And plus, you get automatic cars and stuff.
Well, you can get prosthetic anything, really, can't you now?
Yeah.
But I mean, I think I would find it easier to use a prosthetic leg than a prosthetic hand. I think
which
the mind. I think my left.
Okay.
Which is weird. Yeah, because when I'm doing my exercises, I quite often start with my right leg, like being the supporting leg. Because I don't know. Yeah, I feel stronger on that.
What would you do, Gav?
I'd have both my legs amputated. And have some
that wasn't an option, I don't think. You said one. You said one limb.
Damn it. But it would be both.
Naughty.
I'd have like Robocop ones installed.
Yeah, if you're going to have them, just have them both.
Yeah, and then or like the super fast running ones, I think.
Yes. Oscar Pistorius.
Legend. Guy used to work in an office near to us. A guy called Sean. Hi, Sean. He lost his leg when he was a kid, and he had like huge amounts of money spent on getting a prosthetic leg and everything, and he never used to wear it. He said because it used to get like you can't get the join very well onto where it was going. So he said he used to sweat, and he said it was awful. He said one day he was walking through a really posh restaurant, and as he walked past his family, he walked and it just let out this really long fart sound. And he had to stand there and like roll his trousers up and go, no, it's a fake leg. I promise, it's a fake leg. And, like,
farting.
Which is cool.
He don't think about.
He used to cycle his bike, and I'd chat with him, and I'd be like, "So when you cycle your bike, do you use your fake leg to give you both sides?" And he's like, "No, I don't bother." And he just used one leg, so he'd cycle everywhere on one leg.
Wow,
just incredible.
Yeah.
Interesting fact, the first band that Luke and I were in together were called Fake Leg.
No way.
Didn't even think of that when I was writing the question.
That's true. Love the programme The Last Leg. Can't even remember what they've got. Oh my god. I can't even remember what the name of the guy is that's only got one leg, so it's all...
it's like Alex Brooker, isn't there, and Josh Widdicombe.
Yeah,
and,
He's the guy with the
Australian guy.
Yeah, and he's actually in Australia at the moment, so they're sort of doing live video call with Australia.
That's so cool.
God, that's awful, isn't it? We can edit that in afterwards, can't we?
Edit that in.
Yes.
I'll send you that as well.
I'll put it
in a notebook.
So Luke will remember. He's got the memory of a porcupine.
I've also got the video. It helps.
You guys also aren't sipping any alcohol. I haven't seen you drink one drink. Right, thank God. I was drinking that earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Why the fuck aren't you drinking them while we're talking?
I was.
Are we?
Yeah,
I just missed that.
So Damien Ford, right? When Damien comes to visit, and we have our annual band practice, he always brings down these really weird beers that no one wants to drink because they're like, I don't know, they're just, and he drinks them
posh
warm.
Ales.
Yeah, posh
ales.
The
ales. Oh, well, he'd get along well with Pete.
Damien get along well with Pete for sure.
Oh God, he would. We've got a whole cupboard full of tributes and all sorts of weird ales.
I do like this one, and so he left some weird ones, and I drank them first, and then now I'm down to these ones that I actually liked. So.
I love a tribute, actually, to be honest. I'm not very good with beer or ale. It makes my stomach go weird, but I like a tribute.
That's a good point.
A tribute, yeah.
So the final question
brewery.
from me is
final question, really?
From me. No, Luke's got his 5 as well.
All right.
Hang on. No, you've only asked 3.
I know, it's a 2-part.
I feel like you've only asked
okay.
one.
Sorry.
No, that's 3, but the final one is like a 2-part. So it's about bands that you like. Okay, so what this question is there a band you would love to put on a gig? And it doesn't have to be your favourite band, but a band that you think would be really interesting, or someone that would be really fun to work with, or someone that you just love to put on in a small venue in Bristol at one of your gigs.
God, you didn't say you were going to ask me that. You said you were going to ask me a favourite band. Well, like the band I play all the time. And I couldn't decide on that at all, and I drove myself a bit mad trying to decide. Because there's so many. There's
a lot, but whilst you think about that, I'll give you part 2 of the question to give you a bit more moment to think. And then also Luke can answer it as well, to give you more thinking time. But the second part of the question is, what's the best gig you've been to? Or festival, or just sort of night out watching live bands?
I can definitely answer that. The best gig I've ever been to, the best festival, was Download Festival, and I'm trying to think what year it was. It was just before Myla came around. It's probably like, I don't know, I need to check the year, but it was the year that there was Steel Panther, Tenacious D, Ugly Kid Joe, and there was one other, and they were all in a row, so it was like in a sequence, and it was absolutely amazing. Metallica played that year as well, so I was sort of going for Metallica. Black Sabbath played, and Soundgarden as well, so it was like a year where every single band that I love play all in one go.
Sweet.
Yeah, so me and Pete were like, we have to go to that no matter what. But the actual bit that was the best was the Steel Panther, Ugly Kid Joe, and Tenacious D. Oh, and no, it was still, I'm sure there was one other, but it was that sequence of bands that were just the best thing I've ever seen. It was just totally brilliant, like really comical and hilarious as well. So really funny.
Excellent.
But
I'm not taking the offence to that. Are you, Gav?
Yeah, but I thought we were talking about like big. I thought we were talking about.
we were.
No, keep digging, Cassie. Big band.
I thought we were talking about like festivals and things. I was going to come on to DIY bands, smaller bands.
I tell you,
I was coming on to that.
The best festivals I went to were probably the Reading festivals in the 90s, one of which I went to with Luke, where he missed Fu Manchu to watch Page and Plant play. It's just like
I missed System of a Down because I drank 90% proof alcohol, which I didn't realise was 90% proof alcohol, and I just fell asleep in a ditch, and I woke up halfway through Metallica. It was System of a Down and then Metallica, who I both wanted to watch loads, and I managed to get to the front for Metallica after being passed out. Woke up, went, oh my god, Metallica's on, got to the front, through all the crowds and everything. I got a few people to like throw me over the crowds to get to the front. Got to the front, and then the bouncers just went, all right, love, I'll help you out here, and hoiked me out and took me to the back. And I literally, I think it was like as For Whom the Bells Toll started playing or something, and I literally stood at the back crying. Like, what the fuck? Why am I at the back? I just worked really hard. But yeah, I miss System of a Down. That is one of my biggest regrets of all time, actually.
I don't think they're going to play again, are they? Maybe
are
not.
They not? Oh, God.
I think
I've given up hope of... Was there some drama?
I think the drummer came out and said he was a big Trump fan.
Oh, no, don't tell me that.
Which I think
That's like the Pantera.
Yeah. And I think the singer came out and said a lot of stuff. He didn't directly talk about the drummer, whatever his name is, but he did say anyone that thinks Trump's good is a dickhead, basically.
Oh God, I'm just hoping things get misinterpreted.
Yeah, maybe he was
It's like that Kristen Novoselic thing, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that sucked.
But it could have been taken out of context. That's the thing. You don't know, do you? And also, you don't know the way the media want to skew it.
That's also true. Yeah.
That's the thing.
I think. There is that thing. What is it called? Like cancelling, where some celebrity or someone from a band says one thing that could be out of context, or it could just be. I mean, we all say stupid things. Obviously, not me, but other people do say stupid things.
I never say stupid things.
No. And I mean, if you're a celebrity, it's being recorded most of the time, so people might. Yeah. So it's quite difficult to judge.
It's all about context, isn't it? Whatever context you said it in, and then it's about the context that somebody wants to portray it in. So someone could have portrayed him in a very different light. But it's the same. We're going to get really political now, aren't we? Well, I'm sort of a little bit prepared for that.
You can, but I'm going to turn it back round for a moment and tell you that the band that I want to play in a small venue in Bristol.
Go on, you're going to stop me from going on a real left-wing political rant, aren't you?
that is allowed. But
Pete was like, "Don't do it, Cassie." Don't do it.
It's allowed.
What was the question? Sorry.
The original question was, what band did you want to put on if you put on any band in a small venue in Bristol? For me, it would be either. Well, obviously, I wrote the question, so I had time to think about it. I would pick either Marilyn Manson or I've slipped my mind, but that German sort of band with all the fireworks.
Rammstein.
Yes. So one of those two bands. You know what I mean? Just to see them play a show with no pyrotechnics and mad stuff, just playing the songs.
Strip it all down.
And does it have to be people that are still alive, or you know?
No, anyone.
Most of the people that I would want to put on would be dead. I mean, obviously Nirvana would be a big one. But I think if I could get Tenacious D to come and play a gig and get Jack Black on the stage, that would be the best thing ever. Because I just thinking about people I'd like to hang out with, backstage.
Yeah, he'd be fun.
So I think
do you watch his podcasts on YouTube or whatever?
I've watched a little bit, and I've watched lots of the songs that they've done since lockdown. That the 5 Needs. Have you watched the 5 Needs?
Yeah, that's good.
You absolutely have to do a little 5 Needs thing here. 5 Needs little clip, because that has actually got me through lockdown. That and Jack Black dancing out the front of his house. I can't remember what he's dancing to. He's just dancing around. At the beginning of lockdown, he had a little dance, and it made everything okay. I was like, everything's shit, and then I watched that, and I was like, everything's okay. Lockdown's okay.
I need to look that up.
Yeah, it's good. His whole thing is really good. What does he call it? Jablonis or something. I can't remember what he calls it.
I don't know.
But he does cool stuff. He plays Tony Hawk's Pro Skater with Tony Hawk and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just cool stuff.
They've just been so proactive since lockdown. Yeah. I love that you just find a way around the fact that everyone's in lockdown. You just find a way to do it. And if I was good at technology and I had all the kit and everything, I'd be doing loads of shit. But I'm not.
I assume he has a professional. I was just going to say, talking of cool gigs, there's one episode of his podcast where they go to somewhere in South America, and there's Tenacious D, Foo Fighters, and Weezer all on the same gig, and they go off backstage drinking and stuff like that, and it's just they're filming it for his episode.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
That's a cool one.
I don't think I've seen that. That sounds cool.
Sorry, Luke, what were you going to say?
I can't remember now. I'm sure it's good though. I honestly can't remember.
I bet it was going to be so good.
The best thing ever. That concludes my 5 questions.
Excellent.
Over to you, Luke.
I haven't got mega nervous yet either. That's good, isn't it?
Cool.
Is that because Luke isn't as intimidating as you thought he was?
Yeah, it's not like a job interview.
I can't believe they're opening pubs before they're opening other stuff.
Playgrounds.
Yeah.
Gyms.
I was chatting to a guy in Germany today, and I said to him, how's it all going in Berlin? How's life for you? And he was like, oh yeah, it's all right. He said, what about you in England? I hear it's been quite harsh. I said, it's all right, mate. They're opening the pubs tomorrow. And he said, so they've got no education establishments open, but they've opened the pubs. I was like, yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
And football could go ahead. Football could go ahead.
It's all the money, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like priorities, seriously.
There's hairdressers opening in Plymouth, I think, at midnight tonight to get people in.
But no nail salons, hence the nails.
No tattoo shops.
Yeah, that's the thing.
No tattoo shops. But it's just,
it's
whatever they deem feasible. That's a good little moe you got going on there. That's cool. Keep that. Keep that. Gel it up a bit.
We do.
That was going to be one of my answers actually. But you haven't asked me the question yet.
Oh, yeah, we will.
Okay.
But I never see under your cap, so I didn't know the answer to that one.
That's
really long. I've been shaving
cool,
Pete's head.
Have you?
I've been shaving Pete's head completely, yeah. I want him to come in now so I can show you, but...
So my first question is hard hitting.
I might need a tequila.
That's right. What did you have for breakfast this morning?
Tequila.
Right, well, tequila pretty much. No, I've actually started this thing where I don't have breakfast, which sounds really mad, but apparently... Oh, my telly's just come on. Sorry, hang on, let me just pause that. Apparently breakfast is really overrated and you're not actually supposed to eat breakfast. Oh my god, telly, why do you keep coming on? Sorry, it just keeps coming back on again. Yeah, you're not actually supposed to have breakfast until sort of 11 o'clock, like 10 or 11 o'clock, so you're supposed to fast for 16 hours. So I'm trying that. So I've been not having any breakfast and then doing a bit of a workout and then eating about 10 o'clock. But I literally... What
did you have at 10 o'clock?
Yeah, I have, like muesli or a bit of gluten-free fucking toast, which is quite horrible.
It's a bit dry,
isn't it? A bit of peanut butter, yeah, because I can't have gluten anymore. So this is the whole thing where I don't have breakfast because I'm gluten intolerant, so I have to try and have something that's not going to aggravate my stomach. So I wait until 10 o'clock. It's very boring. That's a really boring answer, isn't it?
No, that's a good answer.
It's
so what
one of the longest answers we've had to...
I know. I thought I was not going to be able to answer your questions, and actually I've just completely waffled a load of shit.
No, that's good. I think because we've hit a revelation here for the first time in the Woodcast that breakfast being the most important meal of the day is bullshit.
Yeah, this is what I've realised, because Dr. Hillary, do you know Dr. Hillary on ITV?
Yes.
He is the font of all knowledge, in my opinion. And so everything he says I go with. So he said you have to fast for 16 hours. So if I don't eat from sort of 6, 7 o'clock at night, I have to keep it going for that long.
Interesting.
And I'm saying that like I do it every day, and I really don't, because it's fucking impossible. So I get to about 9 o'clock and I'm like... And this morning I started doing my workout and I thought I was going to pass out. So I was like, Pete, get me some toast! And I made him get me toast, and then I ate it while doing my workout. So I pretty much ate it and then carried on doing the weights. So I'm not sure I don't think Dr. Hillary would like that very much.
Dr. Hillary is actually a doctor.
Yeah, he's an actual doctor.
He's not like that Gillian McKeith woman that did the poo programme. He was like, I'm Dr. Gillian McKeith.
I don't know who the fuck she was.
She was mad into poo. Maybe we should get her on. She'd be a good guest.
She'd be good.
What did you have for breakfast?
I reckon she talked more shit than I have.
We could post her some stool samples prior to the episode, and she could reveal some information about our poor diets.
That'd be good. I'd rather you got Dr. Hillary on.
We could date Dr. Hillary.
Could you? Because I got a bit of a crush on him. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll ask. Dear Dr. Hillary.
He's probably getting quite a lot of questions at the moment, but you could always try.
But none would you like to come on Have I Got Wood for You?
Yeah. I mean, he can't be doing anything as important as this, surely.
The thing I like about Dr. Hillary is he comes on and he basically goes, this is a government advice. It's all a load of bullshit, actually, because what you should be doing is this. And then he gives his medical opinion. It's completely different to the government advice. And he's like, I've sort of tried to advise them, but not listening because they listen to their advisors.
if he turned around and said, "Oh yeah, actually Boris Johnson's talking a whole lot of sense," would Dr. Hillary be your favourite person in the world still?
No, I'd fucking hate him.
You see, so the echo chamber that is Dr. Hillary is just like, he's just coming on and going, "Yeah, the government are wrong." You're going, "Yeah, I agree."
But what he does is he comes on and he goes, the scientific evidence from the tests that we've done is that children don't transmit coronavirus, and that, you know, you've got more chance of being hit by lightning than you have of getting coronavirus if you're a child, or if you're healthy, or if you're under 60 or whatever. And he says the actual scientific facts from scientific
that's
evidence.
fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, most scientists would do that unless you're hired by the government, in which case you're going to say the government advice. I'm getting on to dangerous territory now, but, you know, like Chris Whitty and everything is going to say the government advice that has been given by the government. It's not necessarily proven by scientific evidence, is it?
No. You know 9/11.
Just gone really controversial. Don't make me talk about that. Don't. I'm going to get myself in so much trouble. I'm never going to be able to get a teaching job again, am I? They'll Google me and just be like...
Don't worry, yeah.
No one watches this anyway.
Yeah.
To be honest, if it's going to be a school that are going to disagree with my findings, my scientific findings, then I don't really want to work there anyway.
Out of context, Gav.
Margaret Thatcher.
Out of context, Gav.
I don't want to sit near Piers Morgan though.
Oh God, no, fuck that.
Although, hasn't he changed his tune as well?
Yeah, suddenly he started... I think he's like a clock. He's randomly right twice a day, and the rest of the time he's completely wrong.
Well, that's the thing, he blatantly voted for the Tories, and suddenly he's changed his tune. How can you suddenly have a turnaround? I think maybe they've cut his funding, or, you know, cut his little paycheck that he was having. They're like, we've
just
had
playing
enough
devil's
of you now. And he's like,
advocate,
right, wow, fuck you. Yeah, I'm
but-
being really confident. This is going to get
No.
pulled from YouTube.
I'm not wishing to stick up for Piers Morgan or anything, but surely that's a good sign, isn't it? If he did vote for the Tories and then he's turned around and gone, actually, perhaps I've learned a bit more about what they're, you know, that isn't.
Nah,
right. Maybe that's a good thing, and that works in every way, right? Whoever you vote for, if you learn something about them and you don't like them, so maybe
anyone who voted for Tories and then changed their mind through this whole pandemic is it has like totally won my view in my opinion, because
as
should have realised.
But as long as it's like so much of the stuff that's happened during this pandemic, if you know people are saying, "Oh, isn't it great? We can go out walking, we're chatting, we're looking after our neighbours. There's more sense of community and stuff like that," which is all really cool, positive stuff. But as soon as everything goes back, if that goes back to normal and people just jump in their cars and drive everywhere and don't look after their neighbours,
and Piers Morgan just goes back to being right wing, like, Trump's my best mate again, and Boris Johnson my best friend, and it's like, what happened?
I'm sceptical that he actually has changed. I think he's still just a dickhead, and he's just saying things.
This is the thing. There's always an agenda. If he's changed, it's because something's happened to change his mind. He hasn't just gone, I've got like a moral compass and it's changed. He's gone, I'm not getting what I need from the government, so I've changed my agenda. And that's really cynical of me to say that, and I've got evidence to back that up.
Don't forget what his agenda is as well. His agenda is to be confrontational, or you know, say the things that get people like. I really don't genuinely believe that she believes the shit that she comes out with. I think she says it because that gives her...
She's getting so much attention for it, isn't she?
Yeah. So, and I've just done it here. I've just, you know, and I will bleep that bit out because fuck that, I'm not giving her any... But you know what I mean? Those types of people say the most ridiculous, obnoxious, cunty things to get a reaction from people, and then to make themselves current, or believe that they're current, you know, and believe that they're important and their view matters and stuff. And
Yeah, but that is just
maybe
like
that's
the
what Piers Morgan's
lowest.
doing. He's sort of looked at it and gone, "Oh, this will be the controversial thing to say, so I'll say the controversial thing."
But the controversial was always to go again. Was always to be very right wing. That was always the thing, and now he's changed his tune with that. There's always tried to be as horrific as she possibly can in order to get attention. But whether she's doing it genuinely or not, it's just horrific, isn't it?
I'd be amazed if people genuinely held the views that she holds.
Some people do.
Yeah,
Well,
and I still find that amazing, Gav. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather believe the best in people. And,
it's not even about
which is where you get to laugh at me now
views.
because I'm an idiot. But
it's about the way she goes about things as well. So she there's a video of her like at the protests, at the sort of BLM protests, and she's there in a mask, like behind everybody, just giggling and going, "I'm here, and I'm going to wreak havoc. I'm going to cause a bit of havoc." I don't know if you've seen this, but she's just there like she's literally sniggering behind everybody. So she's at the protest, and she just goes there to sort of cause a scene and to aggravate everyone.
Have you ever seen Stuart Lee's thing about Richard Hammond?
No.
Because that's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. He basically goes on about, he's like, I don't like any of them, but Clarkson is the guy that stands at the front and goes, wah, 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 wah. And he said, if you look beside him, there's this tiny little guy just going, "Go on, Jeremy, say it. Go on, Jeremy, say it. Do that. And he's the little cowardly little one that pokes him and go on, that'd be funny. And then Clarkson's the idiot who's stupid enough to go, Argentina, Germany.
There's that one as well, isn't she?
Yeah.
Like, can you be up there being a complete cunt so that everybody like is angry at you, and behind the scenes we can just get on with being the proper racist twats?
So it was toast for breakfast, yeah?
Yeah, sorry, no, I didn't have breakfast, and then I had like some weird toast at about 11 o'clock when I was about to pass out. Yeah, so
awesome.
Not sure about the fasting thing.
I had the same that I always have, because we've done quite a lot of these podcasts, but we've failed on the technology. So Luke's asked me what I've had for breakfast about 5 times, even though there's only been 2.
I think it's more than that.
You change your breakfast every day specifically?
No, I buy all the separate constituents of muesli and mix it all to have my own
deconstructed muesli, I like it.
Yeah.
That's all the rage.
Very Michelin star, Gav.
Very modern, yeah.
Yeah,
very contemporary.
I am. What did you have, Luke?
Yeah.
So, last Saturday, I signed back up to Weight Watchers. So, my life has been fucking shit for the last week.
What's their recommendation then? They don't do the fasting thing, do they?
No. But no, it hasn't. I say that as in relative to everything else, food-wise, it's been, I hate it. But it doesn't matter.
Rice crackers.
All these people that come on and they go like, "Oh yeah, I joined Weight Watchers and I hardly noticed I was on a diet. It's fantastic." That's complete bullshit. That's complete bullshit. So what I had this morning was, have you ever poured out an actual measure of like cereal based on what they say on the box? Like 30 grams of cereal.
It's like the most minuscule amount, isn't it?
It wouldn't even feed Izzy, and she's 2. It's crazy.
No.
So,
I know Marlon eats about 6 of them.
Yeah. So I've basically become, well, I wouldn't say I'm vegan, but I'm as close to it as you can, because you can feed up, you can fill up on fruit and veg and all that sort of stuff. Basically, you cut out sugar, meat, fat,
milk,
taste, enjoyable. You cut all of that out, and then you lose weight. It's incredible.
This is basically what I'm doing. I'm like pretty much vegan. I've been vegetarian for a while, but I'm pretty much vegan. And I mean, I do eat sugar. I do have sugar now and again. But then I just drink loads of booze. So it's like that probably counteracts everything, doesn't it?
Booze is good for you, isn't it?
That's it. I haven't had a drink all week, and I'm meeting Ollie in the pub, and I cannot wait.
What does that mean? No food for the whole day, and then just fill up on beer at night.
That's what you start to do,
right? And they're all skinny bastards. But yeah, to answer your question, I had some Cheerios, a drop of milk, about 7,000
Not real milk, I hope.
Sorry?
Nut milk. Not Not real milk,
no,
I
sorry.
hope. Nut
No,
milk.
real milk.
Coconut milk or something, I would imagine.
Yeah,
Luke
Okay.
has semi-skimmed.
I do.
It's not vegan.
No, I'm not a vegan. I'm absolutely not.
By that horrified face.
And then, about 1 billion strawberries and about 1,000 bananas.
What?
Sorry, Gav. And then I can have, no fat, Greek-style yogurt I can eat till it comes out of my ears. So I've substituted milk with yogurt, basically, and just
This is exactly what my mum said. She was like, I can eat Baby Bells all day long. So she was just eating baby, because she was on the slim fast diet. So she was like, I could just eat Baby Bells. I was like, I don't think that's the case, Mum.
What's the next question?
These questions are really dull compared to the conversations we've been having. It's much better. I might race
really
through.
overran as well, haven't I?
Don't worry.
That's okay.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to skip.
Quick fire questions.
Yeah, okay. But you've already answered 2 of them, because I think you told us about them anyway. So let's go for so number 4. Think of a category, a form of classification, any form of classification you want, and rank the members of the band would. So that's Gav, Steve, Damo, and myself. Rank us in an order. Don't tell us what the category was, but tell us what the order is, and we'll guess the category.
I like this question. It's a good one, but I did find it really hard to think, because everything I came up with was like offensive to one of you. And I couldn't work out. I couldn't work out which one I wanted to offend, or which, and in the end I tried
most likely to be a serial killer, that sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
Well, I was like most hairy, and then I couldn't think what Gav's hair was like under the cap, and I hadn't seen your hair in a while, so I was like, well, it could be completely untrue. And then I sort of went through various others. So the order of play is Gav. Are we going from the most to the least?
If it's me first, then yes.
This is from the most to the least. Gav, Luke,
Yes.
Damo, Steve.
So I won, basically.
What is the category?
Most amazing.
Person you've spoken to the most.
Oh, fucking hell, you just got it straight away. But that's the thing with that question, you can't think up anything that's not offensive.
Well, that's quite good, though.
That you're not going to get straight away.
It'd be good to offend us, though.
Gav, give me an order now. You do it.
What?
Just rank us. Actually, no, don't rank us. Right. Paul, Cassie, Steve and Damo. Guests on Have I Got Wood For You. Put them in any order.
Oh, you want me to rank? You want me to rank our guests on the show?
Yeah.
It's really hard. Trust me, I thought about this a lot.
Okay. So, I'm going to say Damo is first.
Oh, whatever.
You don't know what the category is yet. Might not be good. I'm going to say Steve. I'm going to say Steve is second. I'm going to say Cassie is third. I'm going to say Paul is fourth.
Okay. Most westerly or most easterly in the country. That's what I reckon. So
you reckon it's geography based?
Yeah.
That's good. That's
only
really
because
clever,
Paul's out on the
that's
west,
good.
as far as west he can be.
I'll give you a clue. I'm not that clever. So
That would be. I'm thinking like, God, I wish I'd thought of that. That's really clever.
I mean, it's really obscure.
Is it height?
No.
Who was the first one?
Damo.
Damo, then me.
Damo, then Steve, then you, then Paul.
Oh.
I mean, it's quite difficult considering you don't really know Paul.
Is it best?
Is it something to do with like musical ability?
No.
Yes, drummers.
Yeah, although that would probably
I'm
work
like
as well.
second.
Yeah, you'd be second.
Who's best at playing drums? Damo.
Oh, poor Steve.
I don't know, mate.
Shall I
You got
tell
any
you?
ideas, Cassie?
No, I can't think at all.
So the answer is the amount of time spent listening to Iron Maiden. So
How far along the line was I?
you're third.
Probably
That's
about
probably an
right.
age thing,
Yeah.
though, isn't it?
Yeah, so Damo listens to them all the time. Steve listens to them a bit. I'm guessing that you've listened to them somewhat, and I don't think Paul has really ever listened to them.
That's actually very true. Yeah, I like that. But that's the thing,
Well,
that's a really hard question if you don't like fully know everybody.
Yeah,
I feel like I know you quite well and I know Luke pretty well, but I wouldn't like to make assumptions. And then, I don't want to sort of insult Steve and Damo.
What I would say is I can but disappoint.
But I was going to do hairiness. But hairiness has gone out the window in lockdown, hasn't it?
Yeah. Who would you have put?
I was going to put Damo, obviously, first.
Yeah.
And then I was like, it's either Gav or Luke in the middle. Because Steve's always quite, like, neat and clean-shaven, isn't he?
Generally.
But I didn't know what you guys would like under your hat. And then I was thinking maybe Luke's was really long and yours was, like, balding. I don't know, because I literally haven't seen your hair under your hat for the whole time we've met, I don't think.
Wow.
You've always had a cap on.
I like wearing a cap.
But
I will confirm that Damo is the hairiest. He's the one I've seen nude the most.
I wasn't talking about whole body. But he has got the best set of locks on him. Never get your hair cut, Damo. It's a great set of locks.
My final question then is, this is the one that you've been wanting to ask all the whole way through.
I need to stop drinking tequila now.
So, what one album or band's back catalogue would you listen to for the rest? You can only choose one band or one album.
This was the one that was so hard.
Get
It's
to
a trick.
Hustleburger.
It's a trick. I have to answer this as well.
Yeah, damn right.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, me and Pete talk about this most nights, I would say. We have this one out. And every time we come back to the same band, and that band is Rage Against the Machine. And I would say it's got to be Rage Against the Machine, the album. Although Evil Empire's, Evil Empire's, close second. But, yeah.
Do you remember the first time you heard Rage Against the Machine?
Yeah.
Do you?
Absolutely.
I do. Where was yours?
Yeah. I was round at an ex-boyfriend's house, but I was very young. Probably about 16, and I was listening to it and jumping on the bed with my friend, with Penguin actually, weirdly enough, Penguin, and my friend Joe, and I think Joan was there. I'll give them all shout outs and they'll watch this video, and Emma and Kat and everyone. But we were jumping on the bed loads and going absolutely nuts and it probably wasn't the first time we've heard it, but it was one of the first. But it was also the same night that I opened a bottle of Prosecco, but didn't realise that when a bottle of Prosecco opens, it sort of shoots off. So I had my head like that, and it shot into my eye.
Ouch.
And I'd also smoked quite a lot of spliffs. So when it shot into my eye, I completely freaked out and was like, I've been shot in the eye! And I literally thought we were under attack, and I had to go into the bathroom for about 3 hours and shelter from the attack.
Excellent.
That's amazing.
It was actually very traumatic, and I can't.
What I love about this as well is you were listening to Rage Against the Machine drinking Prosecco. Like, what?
Prosecco. Yeah, and smoking spliffs and opening Prosecco. And the only way, I can't open a bottle of Prosecco anymore. I literally can't. If I'm going to drink Prosecco, I have to get Pete to come and open it. And if he's not home, then I can't drink the bottle of Prosecco. I just have to leave it there because I can't open it.
Was that in Weymouth?
Yeah, this was in Weymouth, when I was about 16.
So when would that have been?
21 years ago. 21 years ago, whatever that is. Can't do the maths right now. Yeah, because I would have been finishing school. Yeah.
Just as we were finishing uni. So that's good, isn't it?
Oh, so you're older than me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Boy, I'm older than Luke. I'm winning.
Yeah.
You like really, really
that's
old.
my order.
Mad old.
But
How old are you?
I'm one up from Luke, I think.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
40.
What's Luke?
Well,
I'm 43.
okay, so I'm going to do an order, right? Mine is Gav, Luke, Pete,
Can't believe I
Cassie.
just told you that story.
Can
I
anybody
liked it.
guess what the order
what's
was?
your order? Go on, say it again, Luke.
Gav, Luke, Pete, Cassie.
The amount of Prosecco not drunk. Like reverse order the amount of Prosecco drunk in lifetime.
I don't know.
The amount of people that have not shot corks into their eyes while stoned.
No. I've
Yeah,
gone
never
from
done
age, oldest to youngest.
Ah,
Oh.
Yeah. We'd literally
Right.
just had that conversation, so I went, this will be funny. And you all just went, is it amount of Prosecco?
but that's probably right as well.
See, that's the thing. I was trying. I was trying to like go for funny, and then I was trying to go for factual, and then I was like, but I don't really know because I haven't met you guys enough, and yeah, it's just,
if
that
there's
is
an
a
option-
deep question.
If there's an option to insult a member of Wood, you should always take it. Yeah, no, because my head's
God,
so...
really? God,
No,
You look like the guy out of Misfits. You could do the yeah.
No, you need
There you
to
go.
spike it up and not wear the hat and just spike it up because that is amazing.
It's incredible.
That is cool. But he's very conventional, old Pete. He wants to look like a convict all the time.
I remember the first time I heard Rage Against the Machine. It was nowhere near as cool as that.
What happened?
There was a programme on BBC Two called The Late Show or something, and they did a thing called No Nirvana, and they had a whole thing about like all the bands from Seattle that weren't Nirvana. It was after Nevermind had gone mental, so they had Pearl Jam and Dinosaur Jr., Screaming Trees, R.E.M. in there for some reason, and then Rage Against the Machine finished it with Bullet in the Head. And I remember just watching it, and I was like, these are all right, these are all right.
I think that might have been. Yeah, I think that might have been one of the moments for me actually. I remember watching that.
Zach the Rocker was wearing his Ford T-shirt, but it said "fucked" instead. You know those
I
old
had one of
T-shirts.
those.
Yeah.
I had one of those.
Yeah.
But
any
amazing.
Yeah, any time you listen to that album, you could just listen to it. You could listen to it any year. You could listen to it like 50 years in the future, whatever, and it would still be relevant.
I
It
think,
would still
funnily
be
enough,
relevant
I was
forever.
just thinking, none of them look any older either.
No, I mean Zach De La Rocha will always be gorgeous.
He's a handsome man.
You know, yeah. I mean, anyone can admit that. Even Pete would say that.
No. What was the question? What band?
What band
shit,
or
I haven't really
album?
think. Well, can you rephrase the original question or reread the original question?
Make
Right,
it more
I'll reread
relevant
it rather than
to
rephrase
now.
it.
Well, I'm
So
going to try and cheat.
if you could only listen to one band's back catalogue or one album for the rest of your life,
I was
what would
hoping
it
you were
be?
going to say one artist, and then I could pick someone that's been in more than one band,
Ooh, yeah.
Clever.
like Dave
No,
Grohl.
that was the key. Yes, because I was thinking that, and I was like, no, it crosses a few
Yeah,
different
fuck,
bands.
I'm going to cheat. I'm going to say Dave Grohl, because then you get Nirvana, you get some Foo Fighters, you get some Queens of the Stone Age, and you get some Scream that he was in before.
Yeah.
that
Yeah, and
right?
actually,
Did
when
he ever
you
do anything
said,
with, like Led Zeppelin or anyone like that as well, did he ever stand in for them for a bit, or
I don't know,
Gosh.
maybe.
or like Sabbath or someone? Maybe he did a. Don't know. Oh, cool. Good answers.
no, when you said like, who would you like to get to play at a gig? I instantly thought Dave Grohl, and I was like, because I actually have messaged him in a weird like fan girly way on Instagram quite a few times, but just to get support for the Save Our Venues sort of thing, even though he's not in this country, but I was thinking like, yeah, if there was one person that you could get to play at a gig, it would be him. But then I would be able to say a band, because it wouldn't necessarily be Foo Fighters.
Yeah, you could do a solo show.
Well, he could do that first Foo Fighters album where it's just him doing
That's true.
everything. I would quite like that.
Back in 19...
It kind of gets difficult though when he didn't do it as a one-man band.
Quick, over! Come on, Dave, you could do anything. He's like a sort of god. He should be able to do that.
So I've
I
got
would
a very
imagine.
tenuous link back to Wood. You ready for it?
Mm-hmm.
Back
yeah.
in
Yeah, we've
1990
not talked about Wood much.
That's right, we're
Don't
not
need
very
to.
good. But
Yeah.
back in 1999, 98, 99, Luke and I shared a flat in Plymouth with a guy called Beard, and we had a goldfish called Dave, named after Dave Grohl. And that goldfish died, and we wrote a song about it called Fish.
I need another to reclaim my debt. I need another. I need another to swim around with all the other.
Oh, I think I've heard it. Yeah.
So Cassie, I'm going to ask you 2 very quick fire questions, all right?
Yeah,
very
do you
quick
need
fire.
me to shut up now?
Well, maybe. So the first one is, what was the first real gig you went to? Because like I went to loads of gigs around like little mates bands and stuff like that before I went, but my first real gig was Elvis Costello. So what's the first real gig you went to?
It was, well, no, I went to 2 gigs in a very short space of time. One of them's sort of cool, one of them's not. But I went to watch James at Wembley Arena, and actually they were really good. They were really good.
Did you, when you were watching them, did you stand up or sit down?
Well, we were in the sitting down bit, and I was very angry about it, so I stood up in the sitting down bit.
Did the guy next to you say, "Oi, oi, sit down"?
Yeah,
next to me,
totally
sit
told
down.
off. In fact, I think we got asked to
Wasted.
leave,
Absolutely wasted.
which pretty much happens at every gig I go to. I get asked to leave, or one of my friends gets asked to leave. So yeah, I'm also going to give a shout out to my friend Jamie here and James Porter, because they tend to get us kicked out of a lot of gigs, which I like as well. So
You don't get kicked out of your own gigs, though, do you? That'd be...
Not yet.
That
But
would
I
be
did
interesting.
get. I've been bollocked a few times afterwards, like that one. Because you haven't asked me the question about the worst gig I've ever put on.
Oh, is that next?
No,
Which was
that
that
question.
the next one you're going to ask?
Yeah, go on, quick, ask that
it
question.
wasn't, but
And
I'll answer it anyway. Go on.
Was it the Stag and Hounds, and there was one that was really, really good and was brilliant, and I think Copy Wrong played. And that was a good one, but everyone opened the windows. Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, because it was really hot.
So afterwards I got bollocked because apparently the noise pollution in the street, we disturbed everyone. I know, but then they asked me to come back, and then the next one we did, like nobody came, literally nobody, apart from a few like really, really wasted people who fell into the room and then went and just fell back out again. There was no one, so that was really disastrous. But the one where we opened the windows was not good. for getting bollocked by
So
Yeah.
the worst thing that's ever happened to you at a gig is some people opened some windows.
and I got told off, and also like bands drinking. I mean,
And I
not
got told
actually.
off.
Yeah, at the Old England as well, some of the bands drank their own booze outside the venue in the car park, and then they said you can't put on gigs here again because the bands drank their own booze. And I was like, well, your booze is quite expensive. Some people can't afford it.
That's not a
Plus,
lot you can do about that. People drink their own
And
booze.
also, if you paid the bands to play in your venues, then they wouldn't have to drink their own booze outside the fucking venues, would they?
That's true.
So, yeah.
The barman there told me I got free drinks.
Really?
we played
And
there.
then charged you at the
Yeah.
end of the night.
No,
Did
it
we
was
get
a
free
lemonade,
drinks?
but he said it was free. Whole half a
Water. You
lemonade.
can have free water all night.
I really enjoyed that. It was one of the most fun wood gigs we did. The one you put us on in the Old England.
That was when the Rodwell Kings played, wasn't it?
That is, yeah. Did all like
Yeah.
cover versions of like classic 90s
Yeah.
stuff.
So my mate Cassie, my mate
Yeah.
Liz, who lives just outside of Bristol now, but Gav, you know Liz, we were at school together and stuff. She's massive Beastie Boys fan. She wanted Heart Attack Man at her funeral. She'd always said that, and her ex-boyfriend Rich was just like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Why would you have that? It's such a shit." Like he loved all the hip hop Beastie Boys stuff, and
Yeah.
Liz loves the lot, but she really liked the hardcore. And the Rodwell Kings obviously played Heart Attack Man, so I videoed it and I sent it to her and went, "Look what you're missing," and she replied and said, "Oh God, they sound a bit like the Red Hot Chili Peppers."
I really liked that gig because I sort of thought it wasn't going to work because it was sort of a mix of bands that I wasn't sure we were going to go together and everything. We had the Blood Slugs, didn't we, as well? Another amazing band that I just can't get enough of. And I didn't think it was going to work, but actually it just worked so perfectly. But it's one of those... Yeah, it's just one of those gigs that should be more appreciated for what it was. But actually, I was really glad that you guys came and you really appreciated Rodwell Kings and everything. And
Yeah, that was great.
We sort of need to make that connection again because
it was a cool story, though.
Perfect match.
Yeah, it's a good match.
It was a good story, though. You know, the reason you were doing it and everything, putting it on for the RNLI because of their mate and everything, and your mate and stuff.
Yeah.
And,
well, we've got a very good friend who sadly died, and so that they will hopefully go on every year, the Rodwell Kings gig in Weymouth. Whether it will happen this year, I don't know, but it'd be really good to keep it going because it does keep Bruce's memory alive. So
I'd like to play in Weymouth again. I don't remember the last time. I played Weymouth years ago.
Yeah, we do that.
Weymouth again.
Our only difficulty is because we're all so spread out across the country and we don't practice, so we need to always have a practice site. So it's just
but there's bound to be like a
But do you need to have a practice?
Do we?
Do you? I say this to Rodwell Kings all the time. I'm like, you need to practice, or could you just like jam? But then, there are gigs that prove that is not possible.
Yes,
like
we've
wood.
played them.
Okay,
what Cassie, my final question for you is the most important one of the lot, right?
Yeah.
Recommend a band that you've put on. So if you could recommend one band that not like Dave Clark 5 or Bjork, but like a band that you've put on that you can recommend and just go and check this band out. A local band. Or not necessarily local, but
a DIY band.
That's really hard because all the bands I put on are always really great. And obviously, are you hoping I'll say Wood, or am I not allowed to say
Not at all,
Wood?
no. I'd be disappointed if you said Wood, because that means there's some really shit bands out there that you put on. If you said Wood.
To be fair, like when I organised my birthday gig, I had Wood, Copy Wrong, Layman's Terms, Hell, Death, Fury, and oh my god, who was and Toxic Fish, and they are my favourite bands. In fact, did I have Toxic Fish? I had another time. Can't remember now. It's a long time ago.
Do you have was it Less Known Character on that one?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I had Less Known Character. Sorry, Carl. Yeah, but I don't know, because it depends whether I'm saying it for I want them to get publicity because they're not very well known already, or whether they're already well known but they are brilliant. So obviously the Cynic Tones I bloody love, but I think when I watched Hell, Death, Fury, that was a moment where I just thought, you're everything that I like in music, apart from Wood obviously. So it's got the ska, it's got the reggae, and then it's got the hardcore sort of heavy metal, and it's got everything in it.
Were they the guys that went on straight after us?
Yeah, I think so.
Quite tall.
And they played at but the guy with the dreads, sort of roaring.
He plays.
They played at the Fleece as well.
Yeah.
I've seen them a few times. Yeah, they're a good band.
They're just sort of like everything incorporated into one. So, but obviously Blood Slugs as well. I need to say Blood Slugs as well, because when I listened to Blood Slugs, I thought, you're exactly, if I was going to think of like an exact, oh bugger, hang on, my battery's dying. If I was going to think of an exact type of music that I like, it's Blood Slugs.
Cool.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Everyone, go and listen. We'll put links.
Yeah. Put links to all those bands. But any bands that support the scene events that's ever put on, I love. Oh, and Toxic Fish. Toxic Fish. Oh my god.
So,
and
support the scene.
Larry Fish Experiment as well.
Excellent. So support the scene. That's the stuff that you're doing, and you've been putting on some stuff. Like I've got a link we've put a link in the description below to the fundraisers and stuff that you've been doing as well, because you've been raising some stuff for independent venues and everything. The guys that are suffering at the moment, well, hopefully they're going to start not suffering soon, so we can start getting back to doing some gigs and stuff. But
can I just say, have I got time to just say something that I did that was really stupid?
Yeah.
I fucked up a bit because I did that whole fundraiser for the exchange, and I did loads of online gigs and fundraising and things for them, raised quite a bit of money. And then because my bank details weren't entered correctly into the fundraiser, they refunded everybody's donations. So all of that fundraising has just gone completely out of the window.
Oh,
so
no.
I am a twat for doing that, and I don't know whether to admit to that or not, so you can probably edit that out if it's a bit not
It's up to you.
appropriate.
It's up to you.
It's entirely up to you, but...
I am denied about whether to admit to it or just be like, let's just let it lie and not bother fundraising. And then I thought, I need to fundraise. That's the whole point of it. So I need to get that money back. So if you've made a donation and it's pinged back to your account, if you could like just donate it again, that would be great. Otherwise, I'm just going to start fundraising again.
Yeah. Well, send us the details.
Yeah, so I've given Luke the link. So you can put it underneath. I've set up a new fundraiser so you can just put the money back into it. But if you think Cassie's just a twat and she hasn't organised that properly, you don't need to donate again.
But maybe if people donate 66p, if they think you're a twat, then you'll see all that 66p's coming up.
Yeah.
And you think, all these people think I'm a twat.
Also, this was really hard for me to do. So if you think I'm a twat, I could just do more like being a twat. And you could just donate for that, and that would raise money. Anything that raises money for the Save Our Venues Fund, like Trust, is really important to me. So, yeah.
Excellent.
I don't think that's a twatish thing at all.
I think it's good.
It's very important to me. I'm just not very good at doing it.
If you look at Gav and I and most of our mates, all of the bands we've ever been in, all the bands we've been mates with, all of that sort of stuff, it's always been sort of the toilet scene, really, hasn't it? Affectionately known as. We've never, we're not a band that's ever going to play anywhere massive or anything like that. And all those venues give us a chance. So that venues like that, we don't get a chance. And you think there are bands that are actually good at what they do as well, and they start out in little places like that, and then they get a chance to, My ex-landlord saw AC/DC in a pub in Devonport in Plymouth. Venues like that matter. And people get to see bands.
And all the bigger venues that have the bigger bands that pay like £100 a ticket and things, they will survive, they will manage. It'll be the smaller ones with the smaller bands, and it will die out. But then eventually there'll be no bigger bands to come out into the bigger venues. So it will eventually all die off. And our government doesn't appreciate that that is a big industry. It's an important industry. They don't give a shit about it. I'm sorry, but they don't. And I feel very strongly about it. And, it's just getting rid of creativity.
It'd be really interesting to get Ollie on as well, because Ollie sees this from the other end of the spectrum. Ollie's, he's a tour manager and he's worked with loads of bands and stuff, and we'll get him on because he sees it from the other side, and it's exactly the same for him as well. He's got no work now from now until probably March next year.
Yeah. And I suppose it is a level playing field now, isn't it? He's lost his income.
He's lost, he was working with a band. They were due basically on the 23rd of March. They were starting an arena tour, and everything has stopped. And people just assume that, they've got loads of money anyway. They work with big bands. The bands are big. They've got loads of money. It's not the case. It's really not the case. And yeah.
It is a level playing field now, and everybody's in the same boat. But it all comes down to the government supporting the industry, and it is an important industry. And I think the government think, get the pubs open, but it's actually not about that. It's not about getting the pubs open. It's about getting music venues open and getting music back into pubs and finding a way to do that, because otherwise the whole industry is just going to fail. And it does worry me a lot.
And it's important, like social event where a lot of people meet their friends and spend time and become the people they are. It's important for people.
Yeah, but music has always been yourself, like a historical thing as well.
That's a really good point.
But if you look, everyone that's been on this podcast, and probably everyone that we will have on this podcast, is someone that Luke or I have met through music or playing music or...
That's true, 100%.
Yeah. I can't think of anything more important apart from like family and friends and everything, but anything more important in history that has evolved through history that needs to continue. But and I'm getting very political now, but if it doesn't have a benefit to the government, they don't see a purpose in it. But it's like with theatres as well, they're not investing in theatres, but it does have a benefit in the long run. So it's worth just putting the money in now. Germany have put a lot of money into getting the music industry back on track, but our country have not.
Yeah. There is a campaign, isn't there, to have them look after the music industry and entertainment industry.
Yeah, the Music Venue Trust are obviously doing loads, and there's the Save Our Venues campaign, which I'm sort of on board with, and that's what I was trying to fundraise for before I fucked it all up. But it is an important movement, but it's not down to us little people. Like, I raised like 250 quid. That's not going to do squat, is it? It's not about that. The government need to invest their millions that we put into our taxes that are for these sort of crises. It's not about me.
I see that point, but I don't think you should downplay the stuff that you've done and the stuff that people, if everybody raised 250 quid, then that would be fucking amazing as well. So I do understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I suppose
feel like it's very
just to sort of play devil's advocate, I guess most people's argument would come back that, all right, yeah, I see your point about music and I see what it's done for you, and particularly for us, let's say most of my closest friendships are formed through music or going to gigs or meeting, but we couldn't afford ventilators. There were hospitals without ventilators. And I guess that's the argument as well. Education.
But you could always just say, let's scrap Trident and then pay for ventilators.
Exactly. There are ways of doing it, but what I'm trying to say is...
And the other argument would be, is there enough, are they funding ventilators enough, in the first place?
Absolutely.
There's not even money going into that, is there? So,
no, my point is that you're not, in no way are we trying to say this is more important than so many other things. Yeah. It's about recognising that there is a fuckload of money. There is a fuckload of money in the world. And if it's used properly...
But it's also about recognising things in their level of importance, and actually theatre and music has not been deemed important recently. I don't think it's been sort of downgraded gradually, and not by us but by the government.
Look at planning permission and stuff like that. All the people that I think it was ran by the Thekla, right, where they were putting up houses and people complained about it.
And the DLH skate park and everything, Dino skate park has been part of that. Yeah.
We played that. We played their thing once, me and Luke, with a different band.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we have it, but I used to play in a band called 15 Years, and actually it was Matt was just joined to play bass, but that was a gig that we had booked, and he couldn't play it. He'd only been in the band for a few weeks, and then so I rang Luke and said, look, can you learn these songs and play bass on it? And he did.
Good work, Luke.
It was
raised the challenge.
My main so I used to work down at a temporary job down at Lloyd's TSB in the Donut and Crescent. So every day I'd walk down Park Street and go across College Green and through all the skaters, and I spent my whole morning just thinking, oh shit, someone's going to break their ankle in front of me. Someone's going to break their ankle in front of me. This is going to be awful. This is going to be awful. And then I played a gig there, and I was just like, what the fuck? Look at these guys, and there's all these I was just waiting for someone to break their ankle or wrist in front of me whilst I was sort of stood there trying to play bass on songs that I didn't.
That would have made it more punk rock.
It would.
It was awful.
Yeah.
In the end,
there's nothing more punk rock than DLH Fun Day. I'm sorry, and I'm hoping it goes ahead this year, but God knows what will happen.
We had amazing weather, didn't we? It was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was a really hot day, and then the bass amp exploded or something after about 4 songs.
There's always some major dilemma, and it's got to be sorted, but it always gets sorted. It's usually to do with the weather. But
there's a Cornish band that played straight after us who were
Rash
brilliant.
Decision.
Yeah. Oh, they were excellent. Really, really cool band.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rash
Who was that?
Rash
Decision. Yes.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And I really like the Broken Bones Gentlemen's Club. I think.
Yeah, they're a good band as well. Yeah. There's a lot of good bands around.
Yeah.
And also, Big Jeff was there, wasn't he?
No.
Was he not?
Jeff. Well, wait.
Big Jeff usually comes along.
Oh, Big Jeff.
Big Jeff's usually there, yeah.
Because that was one of my things. It was like, right, I can take that off. I've played a gig where Big Jeff was there, and it was like, Big Jeff was there.
You know that's a sign of a good gig.
Yeah. I played. So that's me done. That's cool.
All right.
Well, yeah, Flip and Lisa. Flip from Broken Bones is moving away soon, so I'm going to just say goodbye to him as well. So there may be no more Broken Bones. Go off to Australia. So good luck.
Fucking hell, that is moving away.
Yeah. So unless they're going to do like a Tenacious D link up, I'm not sure Broken Bones is going to continue, but yeah.
Well, I will stick a link to their stuff in here as well, because
please do.
There's three of us on this have said they're a good band, so that'll do.
Yeah.
One of the best bands ever, apart from Da Capo. Just give a little Da Capo thing. You're gonna have this is gonna be like 3 hours long, isn't it?
All these links at the bottom.
I was worried I wasn't going to fill it. I was thinking it's going to be like 15 minutes.
No,
you somehow, Cassie, the combination of
tequila it makes me happy.
Good work. I've got one thing that I just wanted to say. Gav, I love your hat.
That was my band. 15 years, supported them. It's SNFU.
Oh yeah.
Great band.
That's probably one of the best bands I played with.
Yeah. Cool.
We'll put a link to
Cassie,
that in the description below.
Yeah,
my old band.
15 years. All right.
Right. I hope I don't look like as much of a twat as I feel like, but
no.
You won't. I promise.
Luke will edit that bit so that you can just keep saying that all the time.
I do like some airbrushing. Do like if there's any bits where I look like twatty, just airbrush it. So I look amazing.
Can't do that.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, because me and Luke look so amazing, obviously.
Yeah. Excellent. Listen, Cassie, thank you so much.
Well.
Yeah. Thanks very much.
That was really enjoyable.
Thanks.
Really enjoyable.
That was a good chat.
You got me over my fear of public speaking, actually. So that's always a good thing.
I'm not convinced it was Gav and I that got you over the fear. Maybe
it was tequila.
Yeah, I think that might have
when I go for a job interview next, I might just drink a load of tequila.
Yeah, I think for a teacher, that's what they expect these days, isn't it? It's one of the prerequisites for the job.
Lots of drinking, and then tell them what you really think.
If I drank tequila and then taught, I'd be such a cool teacher. Looking like a mental woman, which I will anyway.
That'd be cool.
It'll be cool.
It's excellent. Thank you, Cassie. Really
nice
appreciate it.
Nice to see you guys.
Yeah, we'll see you.
Take care of yourself. See you
sometime soon.
Let's do that. See you later.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye. Cheers, Gav.
See you later.